Good morning and welcome back to now episode 9 of the Purpose Fitness Times Nutrition podcast. Now, guys, thank you all for tuning in once again. Now, today on episode 9, we are joined with a very special guest. I would like you to welcome David Solomon, the director of Miss Fitness Australia. Welcome, David.
Hey, good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, albeit 3,000, 4,000 Ks away this time, but it's great to be part of the podcast, mate, my friend.
No, it's great to have you on board, and thank you for making some time in your schedule to meet with us and discuss everything to do with Miss Fitness Australia.
Yeah, welcome.
So, guys, David and I met probably 2 years ago now, coming close to it. When I very first sort of came to the Gold Coast, and David was associated with the AMB, and now he's director of the Miss Fitness Australia, which I've had the privilege of sponsoring for the last few shows here on the Gold Coast. We've been able to watch Miss Fitness Australia grow over since 3 years. You've had Miss Fitness now for?
We kicked Miss Fitness off in 2017. We had our first show in Perth, which went really well. Perth is a great state, and I had run A and B over in Perth for 3 or 4 years over there as well. So we launched Miss Fitness in Perth in 2017. That was like a pro qualifier show. So all the overall winners throughout the different categories won their pro card, and that enabled them to then come and compete in our 2018 show in Adelaide, where Miss Fitness first launched Australia's first ever open pro show, where natural pro athletes from any organisation could come and compete on that platform in Adelaide. And we had such a great turnout of pro athletes at that show in Adelaide. It was a really amazing show. So yeah, we kicked it off in 2017, and now we're in 2020. So we're in our fourth year now. So yeah.
Yeah, so I've had the privilege of watching Miss Fitness Australia grow over the last 3 years, and I've been lucky enough to put clients and also be a part as a partner through business as a key sponsor for this show for the last almost 2 years. We're going on 2 years now. But guys, today we're joined with David. We won't keep him for too long. He's a busy man. But we're going to discuss everything with Miss Fitness Australia. What's it about? How it works? How you guys can get involved? Has it been affected with the COVID-19 crisis that's happening? Because I know a lot of you guys are wanting answers about Season B and Season A, and what you guys need to do in terms of the gym, or whether you should be competing or not in Season B. So we're going to be talking with David, and David will clarify everything that's going ahead, or if it's not, and also give you guys a full insight about the wonderful Miss Fitness Australia. Now, guys, when I have been a partner at these shows here on the Gold Coast, the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. So, guys, I am a huge advocate for Miss Fitness Australia, and I think in another few years, I said to David, Miss Fitness Australia will go global. It's getting there. The support, the crowd, the atmosphere, especially the last year that we had the venue in Robina. It was one of the best shows I've been to this far. So credit to you, David.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, that venue definitely went a long way in terms of, portraying the show to where I wanted it to be at. And it was good to score that venue, which we didn't know we were going to get at some stage, albeit being in a church. So, as you know, I spent months trying to find that right venue to hold the show there. And the venue had to represent, I suppose, everything that Miss Fitness represents. And it's got such a great stage there, the whole lighting show, the fact that we could actually broadcast or stream the show live, through the Fitness America channels and Muscle Mania channels overseas was really good too. So, and then we had, the athletes' little rooms that they had backstage. It was such a great venue that, a lot of other places, when you go to venues, that the athletes are scattered everywhere. Here it was compact. Everyone had their own little rooms, their segregated rooms for hair, makeup and tanning, and then we had our room before the athletes went onto the stage. So it worked out really, really well.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic venue.
And it was a neutral place too, being on the Gold Coast, being in Robina. So, and there's heaps of free car parking, which is a plus as well.
Yes, we all love that free car parking.
Yeah.
How good is it now, especially with the COVID-19? All the council parking is stopped. Fantastic. But no, just touching on that, you brought up how the last at the venue you were able to stream the media across with Muscle Mania, correct?
Yeah.
Do you just want to tell the viewers here, sort of how you managed to sort of pull that off, and what exactly that entails?
The live stream.
Yeah, the live stream. So
Well, we're now affiliated with Fitness America and Muscle Mania. So I suppose, being affiliated with them as being in America, they are probably in the top two natural bodybuilding federations over there. So it was good to have a show to be aligned with, but also a show that was similar to Miss Fitness. So the live stream came about, having long conversations with the Muscle Mania head honcho over there, Lou, who owns Muscle Mania and Fitness America. And I suppose it was, for us, it was getting, Miss Fitness out there on a bigger platform. And it was also there so we could send our athletes to go over and obviously do the shows throughout America throughout the year. So it was streamed through some of their Facebook pages, and I think it was good from that perspective that our athletes, for one of the first times in Australia, had actually got seen by overseas and overseas audiences and American audiences, and their statistics back when I was talking to Lou after the show had so many viewers that actually got onto it and actually viewed the show, so which was really good. And I said it was actually showcasing our Australian athletes out there to the wider community worldwide rather than just in Australia. So from that perspective, it was good to have that tie-in.
yeah, that's amazing. So for guys, to have that whole stage been able to watch over in America, that's incredible. And as I said to Dave, give it a few years when this show grows, it's going to take off massively. So, which is a huge
It's
credit.
still in our infancy, with the show, Jared. So there's still a lot of room for growth, and but I think the special thing about Miss Fitness is that it is an all-female show, and it does encompass a lot of things that we have that a lot of other sort of federations don't have as well. So I think the beauty of Miss Fitness is that when people get there, or they experience not just the day but the whole weekend of Miss Fitness, it is different, and it really is something that even at the comp, at the church in Red Bean, I was just walking around throughout different parts of the day and just seeing girls actually just getting on together and helping each other out backstage was amazing, because that's rarely seen at other comps that I've been to throughout running shows, or on the tanning business side of things that I have as well.
Yeah, and for myself on the coaching side, it's quite rare to see the atmosphere on behalf of the athletes that we're competing. It's quite, most of the time you'll find quite a hostile environment, but even sitting in the crowd watching them, I still remember, and you remember seeing it as well, the girls as they exit the stage would clap each other off. It was just a truly amazing atmosphere, and it's probably why you're going to stand out. People are gravitated towards positivity, and that's
I
exactly what
think
Miss Fitness Australia breeds.
that moment, I suppose, for me, was the moment that I knew where Miss Fitness was and, what it was about. I mean, that was something that I was backstage and I was near the MC, and it was in the bikini classic division, which is the one piece division. And I think there was about 18 or 19 girls in that lineup. And I think by the time the 15th girl went on stage, all the other girls were on the other side that had been on and done their T-walk. And we were just watching. And when the 15th girl came out, we just saw these girls on the other side of the stage, and they were all just jumping up and down and clapping this girl on stage. And it was amazing. And I thought to myself, this is what Miss Fitness is about, is that support from the girls being together and actually applauding each other. So that moment for me was probably the biggest and best moment of running the show, that we've had for 3 years.
Yeah, and that's a good thing about Miss Fitness Australia is it covers a broad spectrum of clientele or athletes. You've got the serious ones who want to take their career overseas and really test their boundaries, and the ones that are appealed by that muscle mania and being featured or live streamed into America. They've got that, but then as well, especially last year we saw a lot of first time mums and a lot of older athletes coming through out in the crowd, you know,
We
and
had some amazing athletes, you know, in our over 40 divisions, you know, with the bikini and fitness rounds and even with the figure round as well. I was just blown away by some of these girls getting on stage. And we had a couple of girls up there that are in their 50s, and it was like, wow, you know, look at these girls. And it's a great credit to them and what they're actually trying to do, you know, post work career or post bringing up kids career, where they've now got something that they can, you know, get their stimulation or something like that to actually want to get up and compete, but also stay in good shape as well. You know, I was floored by some of those physiques up there. It was amazing.
yeah, and the best part, you know, first time competing, you know, I've been there, done that, and it's uncomfortable. It's a little bit of a scary experience, but you know, to enter Miss Fitness Australia, we got that support for your first time, or even if you want to take it seriously and get your pro card and you know head over to America, you know, you've got the options there. But the best thing of all is you've got support, whatever your goal or ambition is.
Yeah, I think the thing, and I suppose, you know, let's cover, you know, the Fitness America platform or Muscle Mania platform. So any athlete that we have two shows at present. We have a mid-year show, you know, which unfortunately got cancelled with everything that's going on at the moment. So, but next year in 2021, we'll have our mid-year and pro qualifier, and then we'll have the end of the year, you know, pro-am. So the platform that the athletes can get, you know, anyone that does the shows automatically qualifies to go over in America and compete at those shows. So their structure is they have a pro-am in Miami in June. So anyone that next year comes and does the 2021 season A show automatically qualifies to go through and do the show over there in Miami. So and that's the amateurs. So all the amateurs can go over and qualify through Miss Fitness and do the amateur show over there. Any of our overall winners in our pro qualifier next year, who then actually gets a pro card, a Miss Fitness pro card, they can then go and compete at that Miami show and the pro show. Anyone can go over, and that's the beauty of it. You've just got to do Miss Fitness first. And then at the end of the year, when we do our pro-am, again, all athletes qualify to go over and do Fitness America, which is held in November, and that's their big world championships that we, you know, took a team of 6 girls over from Australia last year and had a great time, you know, in Vegas. So all the amateurs can go straight through and do the amateur show over there, and then can win a Fitness America pro card, and all the overall winners or all the pro athletes that we have can then obviously do the pro show at Fitness America as well. So that's sort of, you know, how it's connected. But for our pro athletes that we have through Miss Fitness, I think at the moment we have a team of 18 or 20 Miss Fitness pros. But with our pro group that we have, and anyone that does become a Miss Fitness pro, there's 3 pro shows that you can go and do overseas, so, which is the Miami show in June. There's the Paris show in October, which I think would be amazing to go to. And there's the World Championships in November, which next year will be held in LA rather than Las Vegas. So there's a lot of shows our pros can go and do outside of Australia, as well as doing some other pro shows here in Australia as well. So it's a really good platform that our pros can go and advance from and do these other shows. And I think that's also the uniqueness of Miss Fitness, is that, you know, we allow our pros to go and do other pro shows, not just being contained in one federation as such. You know, we want them to have the latitude to be able to go out and compete, and, you know, rather than just doing one show a year, they can do 2, 3 or multiple pro shows throughout the year. So yeah, I think they can go and compete in other federations as well.
Yeah, no, that's the fantastic part. And, you know, I find so many people are restricted to, you know, just the one federation, and it's all political jargon, really. And, you know, it turns people off.
No one owns anyone, really, at the end of the day, Jared, and everyone just wants to compete and have a good time, you know. So, and I think, you know, to make it fair, particularly for us, something that I want to do for our pros was to give them that opportunity to be able to go and compete, you know, against other pros and other federations, you know. But when we have our pro show here for the season B show, and yeah, the season B show will be going ahead this year, so which will be we've aimed for October the 10th so far. So, you know, that's what we've penciled in at the Robina Glow Church there. But with our pro show, the great thing about our pro show is that, you know, we have pros coming from all different natural organisations competing. So it's not the best of the best from one federation, it's the best of the best from all federations. And, you know, and that person who actually does win the overall title, whether it be through bikini, fitness, or figure or bodybuilding, will be essentially Australia's true national champion as such in their respective division or category. I think that, and again, by being up on stage with other pros, and I think that's the beauty of Miss Fitness, is that, you know, the athletes get the opportunity to be able to compete against other pros as well. You know, I think that's a real highlight. While we get a lot of female pros coming doing Miss Fitness, is that typically pros and other federations can only compete in that federation. But where you have pros from 4 or 5 natural, you know, organisations from across here in Australia against each other, it's amazing to watch. Really brings a different element to the show as well.
Yeah, indeed, 100%. So just touching on that, when is the next show for Miss Fitness Australia? And you also did touch on that the LA Miss Fitness America is on in November. With everything that's happening at the moment, are you seeing it going ahead?
Well, the show here in Australia, yeah, definitely. I said that we have pinned October on the 10th. Down, you know, for the show. But if we need to change anything, I want to give everyone the same opportunity or equal opportunity to be able to get into the gyms once we've gone past this, you know, June or July sort of restrictions. So once the gyms start opening up properly, you know, they'll allow people to go back into the gym, start training properly. I sort of look at it from the perspective that, you know, there'll be people out there, particularly the female figure people or the female bodybuilders, that, you know, to need to probably harden up and get that muscle mass back a little bit. So we want to give everyone the same equal opportunity. If we do need to change the show to be able to give everyone that same access, we'll just backdate it. Well, not backdate it, but put it back to maybe to the end of October rather than the 10th. But we'll know more of that come June, July. And that's hopefully, you know, once all these restrictions have been lifted and everyone abides and, you know, does the right thing as well. But at the moment, we're going for the 10th, and that's what we're 100% trying to do for the show. In terms of Fitness America, no, I think it'd be too hard this year to go over and compete overseas with everything that's going on. You know, the Australian dollar is crap. You know, you want to go over there and be able to enjoy yourself. I mean, that's a part of going away overseas, is to be able to compete and go as a team, but then also be able to go somewhere post-show, you know, whether you want to go to New York or wherever. So I think we're probably more focused on that next year. Our first trip next year will be going to Miami and doing the Fitness Universe show there, part of Muscle Mania and Fitness America. So that's what we more have, you know, set in our sights for next year, is that show in June in Miami, which will be a great time of the year to go over, which will be their summer.
Yeah, which will be good because, yeah, especially with all that money that you're going to put in for towards October, and, you know, if America is still in lockdown with the way that Trump's going, you know, you want to go out and enjoy it, like you said. So I think it's very wise. Even if it does go ahead, I think it's very wise if, you know, you aim for that Miami show for anyone that's looking at doing the international trips. But guys, October 10th, we've got it scheduled for. Now, David, if things do change, where can the girls get their updates from?
Look, we'll be updating them through the website, through the Instagram, our stories on Instagram TV we have, and also through Facebook as well. So we definitely think the October 10th show will go ahead. I think, you know, by reading what's been happening in most states now, I mean, June, July, gyms are going to be opening up in June. I mean, there's some states that already have them open now, being Darwin. I think here in Adelaide, we're opening up in 2 weeks. I think probably the same as you guys up there in Queensland, is it?
Yep.
June the 8th, is that the
I think we're June 12th.
June 12th?
But 4 days difference, very close.
Yeah. I think, you know, obviously there's going to be restrictions, you know, in terms of numbers, you know, being able to go into the gym and what people can actually do with the whole social distancing thing by being in the gym as well. But, you know what, look, I've been looking particularly on Instagram and, you know, seeing a lot of the girls, you know, who are doing the show, and also seeing some other posts that the girls are doing up. And it seems that everyone's having a great time, training from home. And I think the main thing is more during this period is to maintain, muscle mass. And then once people can start going into the gym and start dieting properly, and then that flow-on effect from July should then give everyone like a good 3 or 4 months to be able to come and do the show and get some proper training in. So yeah, we're definitely going for the 10th. And firstly, I want to say to all the girls out there and guys, so I don't want to sound sexist here, but I think everyone's doing a great job out there training from home with the resources or limited resources that people have, and it's great, and it's been inspiring for myself to be able to watch people's different stories that they're in different ways that they're training. And I think it's really brought it for myself, it's brought a different element in from rather than just going to the gym. There's a lot of things that I've had to change from training at home, and it's just using your imagination to make up exercises that you can do with limited stuff that you have at home. So I just want to congratulate everyone for doing their best that they can, being at home and just doing what they can during this period. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, no, it's a huge credit to everyone out there who is still training. Unfortunately, with everything sold out, it does make it hard, but it's almost there. The light is ahead, so keep pushing through. Now, just to touch on that, obviously myself as a coach, I get a lot of clients that, freak out and go, oh, there's not going to be many people competing. I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to be looking good. What would be your advice to anyone that was looking at October that is still unsure, on the fence of competing, and, who's a little bit, I guess, insecure in the sense of, not bringing their best?
Well, I think we've had a lot of messages, I've had a lot of messages of girls wanting to know the date. And so there's definitely a lot of interest there. And there's definitely going to be a lot of girls wanting to come into the show. I mean, we have girls from Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney that I know are coming over to do the show. So the interest is there. I think, being 20 weeks away from the show, it's a long time to be able to get ready to do a show.
Yeah.
Typically most people do anywhere between a 12 or maybe a 16-week, diet, depending on their condition. But 20 weeks gives, everyone a really good perspective, or a good go to be able to come in stage ready. So I think if anyone wants to come and do the show, look, you're going to enjoy the show. And I think, once you get there and come for the whole event, which we'll, go over in a minute, Jared, that they're going to have a great time. And I think this might be just something that might inspire people, to want to come and do Miss Fitness because of everything that's gone on. To me, don't have it as a wasted year. Take this opportunity now to be able to come and compete and give yourself a goal, rather than just saying, oh, I'll do it next year. You can definitely do it next year, but give yourself a goal to come and compete and enjoy the weekend that Miss Fitness is.
Yeah, exactly. Reclaim the end of the year, which is smart. And, from my behalf, especially females, you guys are very lucky in the sense of, getting ready for a comp prep. Your calories don't have to go from extremes to minimal. Some of you girls can, get up to 2,000 and then down to around the 1,300, 1,200, depending on your coach and how your body responds. So, for over 20 weeks, you don't have huge differences to adjust to. I think the best thing you can really manage right now is your stress levels and anxiety levels, stressing about what's to come. I think if you want to compete and you have the goal, set the plan and go for it. I see a lot of girls saying, oh, they're not going to build enough in the time. They haven't had the resources to build enough muscle. We've been in lockdown for a period of, 8+ weeks now. And in that time, especially for a natural female athlete, the difference is you're not going to obtain huge increments of muscle increase as opposed to, a male athlete. So the best thing you could have done during this isolation period is just kept the blood moving, stuck with the diet. And now that we're 20 weeks out, you can focus on the depletion side of things and bring in the best physique possible. And as a coach, there's nothing drastic. In a comp prep, I see so many people try and completely transform and change their physique to something amazing, when you don't need to stress about that. The best thing in the 20-week prep period is you're coming from where you are now to a stage ready condition. You're not going to gain excessive shoulder capping. You're not going to gain excessive glutes. All that work had to be done the years prior. So my advice from myself is, if you're wanting to compete, go for it. This is your opportunity to seize the end of the year, bring the best that you can, and focus and manage on what you can. The fact that you haven't had the gym, if you've still been able to move some blood and still been able to, stick with your diet, you're well ahead of everyone. So I highly encourage everyone. I think it's going to be a great turnout. I think with everyone being in lockdown, everyone being bored and wanting to achieve, I think if you set the goal to compete, the gyms reopen, and you get your life back, I think you can really progress really far for the end of the year, which will be great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in whichever way that we roll, or whichever the way it rolls out, with the government and still on the restrictions that may influence certain things, towards later on during the year. I have read this morning or yesterday that they're allowing, in restaurants and cafes and venues to be like 100 people at the end of June, early July. So come by October, I think we'll go back to when we started this whole thing in late February, early March, where there was that restriction of 500 people. Then it was 100 people, and then everything was closed. So I think come October, it will be 100 people June, July, and then hopefully that 500 people will essentially be in, come 3 or 4 months later down the track in October. So I think, as you said, and as I said, is have that goal, make this year, accountable, come and do the show, be with some other female athletes there and have a great time. Don't have it as a wasted year or a wasted opportunity. So, I think that, as I said, the whole thing during this period is just maintaining your muscle mass. I think most people have done that. I know for myself, training at home, and I only have 3 pairs of dumbbells. That's all I've got. I've got no benches, nothing. So it has been entertaining, at least for some of my workouts here. But you know what? I haven't lost any muscle mass. I've maintained and stayed, as lean as what I normally do. So 20 weeks is a great opportunity to come in and be stage ready. And I think come October, everyone's probably gearing up to have some sort of holiday. And I think, with these girls that are coming, that I know that are coming from Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, they're using it as an opportunity to come to the Gold Coast, have a holiday, but make something of this year and use it as an inspiration to make something out of this year. And, as I said, don't have it as a waste of a year. So, I think it's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. And that's my drive now, with season A, like everyone else, we had to cancel the show, which was a bit of a bummer at the time. And I don't think anyone really wanted to do that, but I suppose in the health of everybody, we had to do that. And particularly in the health of the athletes and people coming watching the shows. So now it's, bum down, gear up, and let's have a great show come October. So I think, and then saying that, Joe, I think we'll, if you don't mind, with the show coming up in October, so if it's okay with you, we'll go for a brief rundown of actually what the show is about and, how it is different to a lot of other shows. So the show is on Saturday, October the 10th. You can only ever have the shows on a Saturday or being in a church. So therefore Sundays is preoccupied with other things that they have there. We don't have it as really as a competition. It's more of an event. And the event goes over 3 days. And I think that's the beauty, or something that I was trying to create within this fitness, that it was really different, but it was also engaging, for a lot of the athletes to be part of. So we kick it off on the Thursday night, which will be October the 10th. And we have our athlete gala night at Broadbeach Surf Life Saving Club. And they have a great venue there that we use, and everyone from all over Australia comes, and that's our registration night. But all the girls come, dressed up in their dresses. It's a meet and greet. We have all of our pro athletes there, and everyone gets interviewed and everyone gets photographed. And we obviously check everyone off when they come through and make sure they're in the right division and everything like that. So that's our stage one of the weekend event. And then then we sit down as a group and we go over everything from divisions through judging. We actually get some of our pros up and we actually do the T-walk and the figure poses and everything like that. So it's a great opportunity to be there, but it's that first point of engagement and meet and greet where all these girls come together and actually be able to talk to each other. And that's the first thing on that night we see girls coming from other states that, they say hi to each other and they forge these friendships out of that. So it's a great moment just for myself personally to be able to sit there and watch that and then watch girls from the show go and, be friends from the show. So that's the Thursday night. Friday, we have private photo shoots with any of the athletes that want a private photo shoot. In some locations that we set out, all the photographers sets out on Friday while they're in shape. And it's also our first stage of the tanning that we do, where we do the base coats at the same venue that we have the athlete registration night. So the tanning is actually included in your entry price, so that's all taken care of, so you don't have to worry about driving around to a tanner and then another tanner and, getting behind or getting late. Everything's done at the venue. So it's really easy on the day. So we do the base coats on Friday as well. So Friday is a base coat day and it's the photography day that we have. Saturday is show day. So we do the top coat of the tans at the venue, and we allocate everyone a time to be able to come in first thing in the morning. So we do start pretty early.
Yep.
Everyone gets their top coat done there. And the beauty of, with getting the tan included in the entry price is that everyone on stage is the same tan colour. So therefore it's judged better. And it looks much more better visually as well. Everyone's got the same tan. So we do adjust the tans with whether it's a bikini girl or fitness girl or figure girl, but it's just one less stress on the day that the athletes have to worry about. So we have the show, we have the amateur show in the morning, we have the pro show in the evening. So the pro show, as I said, is an open pro show, so any pro athlete from any organisation can come and do the show. All the overall winners throughout the amateur show also get their pro card, and that enables them to compete in the pro show that evening as well if they want. So, which is really good. So we have the pro show. As part of the event, then we also, as you know, we have an after party after show, and we have gone back to the Broad Beach Casino, in one of the cocktail bars there. So it's just another thing that, post show, I suppose, whether you're an athlete or even myself, once the show's finished, you think, oh my God, is that it? It's been that 3 or 4 months of hard work, getting to the stage, and for myself as well as prepping the show. So it's sort of that void there. So we created this after party, which no one else does, but we into the format that we do. So we kicked it off in Adelaide, and that night was amazing. We had some other promoters there from other federations, and we had a lot of other coaches from other states, and they all come up to me and said, this is the best. And I left at that 2:00 the next morning, and there were people still kicking on and dancing. And
you're a party animal, Dave.
Yeah, well, it was a big night, that one. But it was good because it was good seeing all these girls come together and having a great time. It's not just going out and getting a burger or getting a pizza post show. And also we want everyone to have a good feed before they come out drinking. But it was just watching these girls and watching, these other coaches all mixing and dancing together was such a fun time. And we did that last year, for both shows on the Goldie, and that's what hopefully that we might be able to do, post show, for this show as well. So it's just another element that we add to the whole weekend as such that really, makes the show different to a lot of other shows. It's more, it's a competition within an event. It's a great social aspect that girls, can come and really, make friends out of it and have a good time post show as well. And on Sunday, if anyone wants a photo shoot the following day, if they're up to it, then they can also have a photo shoot with our photographers at, the locations that they pick out to go and do that post show as well. So yes, that's sort of the format of the show. So it goes from Thursday night, through to Sunday. We don't expect people to come to the gala night if they can't because of work commitments, or if they're coming from interstate, that's fine. I will then give them their athlete numbers and goodie bags on comp day or Friday when they come in and get their base coat. But Friday is pretty essential to come and get your base coat, and then we obviously then allocate everyone a time on Saturday morning to get to the venue for hair, makeup and tanning as well. So In terms of hair and makeup, I'll just touch on this just quickly, but we use Tegan Woodford, who's our official hair and makeup artist, and Tegan does an amazing job, and she's someone that I highly, wanted to be part of the show because she's done a lot of shows nationally, and her and her team are amazing, with the hair and makeup side of things. So everything's done at the venue. So it's really practical that everyone can just come there and don't have to worry about driving around to this place or this place. And, Tegan gives a really good price, for hair and makeup specials as well. So, we want the girls to come in on Saturday, feel easy, not stressed about the day and just come in and have a great time. So, and that's what we try and make sure that everyone does that and they're coming to the show.
No, it's a fantastic weekend to be a part of, and that after party, I've come a few times. The last year, I was actually in comp prep myself, so I wasn't able to stay out to 2 o'clock with you, Dave. So I left Dave with all the ladies dancing. No, but it was a great event, and it really makes the end of the experience just puts the cherry on top, really. So no, it's a fantastic event, guys, and we highly advise, especially after this crisis that's happened. It'll be a perfect time to, let your hair down, or put your hair up while you're training hard for the next 20 weeks, but then let your hair down at the end of the year and, have fun and, look back at all the hard work you're about to put in for the next 20 weeks. So, but no, once again, thank you very much, David. But do you have anything else to really add to at the end of this?
I said, look, all the info is on the website. We've just created a new website last week, so we have everything there from where the gala night is through to where the base tans are going to be. We have all the divisions there set out, so it's really easy to read. We have some great diagrams there for people to actually know what the T-walk is for the fitness and bikini divisions. So everything's pretty well there on the website, Jared. So, if anyone has any questions, they can always message me through Instagram or through Facebook, or just go back to the website and, go to the contact us and send me a message. But have a read through the website. We set it out that it's pretty easy to read. And it has a lot of good content in there. So hopefully, everyone gets a good drift of what, the divisions are and everything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, at Miss Fitness Australia on Instagram and Facebook, or you can look them up on their website, missfitnessaustralia.com.au, is it?
Yeah, yep, that's right. And we are actually having our first national Zoom workshop this Sunday on the 24th at 10:30 with some of our pro athletes. So if anyone wants to tune in and listen again to what we've basically done today, but we're also going to be doing some posing during the workshop, and we'll have a question and answer time at the end of it as well. So if anyone does have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them. So that's you can link in through that on Facebook. And there'll be a little link there, and that will get you straight through to the Zoom workshop that we're going to have this Sunday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
10:30 Eastern Standard Time. 10:30.
Yeah. All right. But no, that'll be excellent. So guys, tune in onto that Zoom chat if you want to find out some more information or even talk to some of the pros. Now, that concludes our podcast with David today for Miss Fitness Australia. But guys, if you need any further information, like David said, hit up the website, the Facebooks, or the Instagram, and don't miss this Sunday for the Zoom chat with David himself and the pro athletes to find out some more information. But guys, Season B is a go-ahead. So, put those joggers on, tie your hair up. Gyms are opening, so get ready, get back on diet, and 20 weeks, here we go. So, thank you, David.
Thanks for having me, and, thank you for being part of the show through Purpose Fitness and Purpose Nutrition.
Purpose Nutrition and Purpose Fitness.
That everyone get on and follow Jared and his sister companies through Facebook and Instagram as well. And thank you for being part of this, and thanks again, Jared. And we hope to see everyone come October 10th at the show. So keep the training up, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right, thanks, David, and we'll see you guys all on October the 10th.